Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So on my blog, I share how I made my fortune in real estate. You guys know, most of you that are here watching already. So on my blog, I show how I made my fortune, starting at 9, took care of him in his final times. And that was about, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago. Maybe not quite, about 8 years ago. And now my mother has dementia. And my mother's, though, is not it's not hereditary. Hers is kind of a really weird deal. Let's see. I'm getting Chris on here, too, while I talk. I apologize, everyone.
So it's pretty bad for your mom right now?
Yeah. You know what? You can use this one. Sorry, we're trying to get Chris on here at the same time. Here you go.
All right.
I'll let you reroute it.
Sure.
Okay, you got to put on the camera, though. That's all. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, there he is. All right, so here's Chris, and you got you. Yeah, we can hear you good, Chris.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I apologize. I got to go get my mother. My mother's got dementia, and unfortunately, I had some family issues with her. I have a sister that is not such a good sister, to be quite honest. And anyhow, so I've had to, I've become my mother's guardian. And anyhow, I have a good sister too, but my mom's been with the good sister. And so I have to go get her. So I'm flying to California. We're there for a visit. And I apologize talking about all this stuff that probably doesn't really much involve real estate. I get it. But I guess I just am so damn thankful. Because I'm fixing to more retire. You guys know that I've talked about it for a long time. Hey, Delta. Hey, Nacho. But I tell you, I'm thankful. I got a flu shot yesterday. Didn't feel all that well. And so, I was kicking back by the pool today. And I'm thinking, and this has really been my life. I've had a charmed life, and it's all from real estate. And I was just thinking about how nice it's been, really, for the last 30 years, that when I've been sick and not felt well, I didn't have to work, and I was still making money, whether it's, collecting interest on notes from the properties that, I carried for people, or just the rental income. I'm primarily a rental income guy now, more than a note guy. I used to be a note guy. I had a lot of notes owed to me. And I'm just, it just puts us, even though you feel bad, like I didn't feel good today, I had a headache, but it's like, you know what? Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know what?
Well, and it's also cool. Being your own boss, so to speak, you also have the luxury of, when people are close to you, like your mom, family.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
My gosh,
you don't have to ask for time off, and at the drop of a hat, you can be there for them. That's good stuff.
Well, and even beyond that, my mom, I can tell you right now, I had to fight tooth and nail to get control of my mom because of a sister that was she's a bad egg. I hate to say it. She did some terrible stuff, and if I didn't have the money and the wherewithal, it would have, it would have, most people couldn't have done it, okay? They just couldn't have dealt with it. I was flying back in California, private investigators, all kinds of stuff I had going. And I finally got my mom rescued. And now I've got her in good hands, and she's being well taken care of, seeing physicians and all this other stuff. So anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about money. Anyways, I don't know anybody doing anything out there. I can tell you, I know Chris has been working like crazy. He's got a property that he bought. He's bought 2. And now we can yeah, that's right. You can talk about.
I can talk about both of them.
Oh, yeah. So Chris has some great stuff going.
Yeah.
So tell us about your newest Airbnb.
Yeah, and maybe next time I'll bring some pictures and give you guys a tour. Maybe we could drive out there together. And do a little tour.
Oh, yeah. It is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
What he's got. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this is.
Maybe I can put it on here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this thing is a. To be quite honest, I don't even know when it was built.
Really?
They say Depression era. It's probably pushing 100 years old if it's not.
Wow.
And so what it is these are some retired abandoned railroad tracks, a little small town outside of a big city. And they retired the railroad tracks. Well, when they were building these railroad tracks, they built this little a better word for it is just a shack. I mean, it is 255 square feet. Okay.
Wow. What is the dimensions on that?
Gosh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a square though.
Wow, it's got to be like 10 by 20 or 15 by 15 probably.
Yeah, something like
roughly.
that. So, but this thing is so cool. Now, thankfully, it's turnkey. I really don't have to do too much to it. The person that I bought it from, she put a lot into it, a lot of time, some good money, and oh my gosh, it is awesome though. So anyway, it's a piece of history. It's sitting right by the abandoned railroads tracks in kind of the historic district of town. You can walk to the restaurants, the bars, the library, the coffee shop. There's a river nearby. You can walk down to the river and kayak or paddleboard or whatever you want. So, I mean, I'm just super excited because I've been really wanting a second Airbnb, and this was it. So,
well, and I'm sending a picture over to you, Chris, so we can show it. I'm sending it to that iPad over here.
Oh, great. Okay.
Do you have it on there?
I don't know.
Is that the one you're using?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Will it just show up?
It might. I don't know. It looks like it's having trouble.
I mean, I could even just do this. I could.
Well, it's such a cool. Yeah, you can go ahead and show it.
I don't know.
I'll set it up. So because what I didn't tell you is
how technically advanced we are. But,
it is the coolest property. It's like a little bungalow. It's really, really cool. And it sits next to railroad tracks.
Can you see that on there?
Oh, yeah, it looks great. So imagine the railroad tracks are just behind it, and he's got a little fenced yard, and you can see the picture there. And I'm going to give you guys a better picture in a second. But you keep talking about it because what he scored is he got it really reasonable, number one.
Yeah.
He got it really, really reasonable. But the other thing is it's unique in such a cool way that he's going to keep this thing rented all the time. I'm already anxious to rent it.
Yeah, no, it's a one of a kind. And here's the thing too, Tom. I actually have a down payment on a lot that used to be part of this lot. So
really?
So I have a down payment.
It's adjacent?
Yes. So it's right there. And what the coolest thing about this is the city, they grandfathered this building in. To build a new build, you have to build at least 900 square feet or more.
Right.
Well, this is 255, and it sits all by itself in this little rail yard next to the tracks, and you can't miss it. You can't miss it.
So check this out. This is it. I've got it on the screen now, and look how beautiful this thing is. I mean, this is a little Airbnb. And so, I mean, the tiny houses are kind of a fashion now, too.
Right.
And I wish we had pictures inside. We'll go inside this thing. I mean, we can't do it now, obviously, but
yeah, we'll check out both properties.
Well, you could send it to me and I'll show them to him. But it's got like just the coolest little sinks, and it's just laid out as perfectly as it possibly can be. And it's in a little kind of I call it like a boutique town. Yeah. Here in Texas, you can say where it is. I don't want to give any details on anybody's.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the city.
Yeah, let's not say it. There's a million of them. Believe me, there's so many little towns like this in Texas. It's crazy. That's why I tell you guys, you can make money anywhere. There's like 1,300 cities, I think, in Texas. Either 1,100 or 1,300.
Probably 1,400.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, and like right now, wine. They're taking little towns like even Temecula in California, and in Texas we got a place, Fredericksburg, which was known for peaches. Well, now it's become the wine country, and they're growing grapes in Lubbock. And there's actually some halfway decent wine, better than I'd ever thought could imagine. I'm a wine snob. I'm kind of a Napa, and
sure
guy primarily. But anyways, and just reds for me. But you know what? They're producing some decent grapes. It really is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so JC just asked me a minute ago why I left California. You know what? I wanted to check over. Maybe we'll go look at Meet Kevin, because I understand Meet Kevin and what's his Graham Stephan?
Yeah.
Both announced they're leaving. Well, it's a no-brainer. I'd leave just because of the damn. I mean, listen, I can tell you, I left. Not the property taxes are actually very advantageous. A lot of people don't realize this, but and I'm going to go back and buy a place in California. I'm going to buy something at the beach. That I know. I'm already looking, and I'm going to look tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. I mean, the temperature year-round is awesome. I mean, every morning it's cold. You need a windbreaker in the summer, okay? You need a windbreaker in the morning. It's cold. And then it heats up like that. Then when the sun goes down, boom, it gets cold again. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Arizona, I mean, of course, it's hot. Like in Texas, it's hot in the morning. It's hot at 5 a.m. If you get up and run at 5 a.m., which I used to, it's hot. It's hot all the time. It's like heat off the pavement. I don't even know. It's just so stifling sometimes. It's horrible. Right. You don't have any of that in California. But the other big thing about California, I'm talking about the reasons why I'd like to be back in California, is mountains are nearby. Skiing is nearby. The beach, I like the beach. Big, deep sand beaches. I mean, I've actually been on the beach and have been in the snow on the same day in California. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Now, I don't love what's going on there. I mean, the place is just a trash heap in a lot of places. If you guys get a chance, look up Venice. Look at Venice. Venice actually was kind of a cool little town at one time, and it used to be a little bit thuggish. I mean, there was, I'd seen some fights there before, on the sidewalks and stuff, but they improved it, made it beautiful. Well, now it's a trash heap. Where you used to walk along the boardwalk, you now have vendors paying $2,500 a month for their little space kiosk, and 20 feet away from them or less in some cases is a shit pile, a tent, a guy living there, sleeping in it. And he gets to be there for free.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just there's those kinds of policies are one of the main reasons I left. But also I left because there was more opportunity. I went to Idaho and bought property in Idaho. Huge opportunities came up in Texas. I took advantage of those opportunities. But really, JC, so to be honest, the reason I really left California is because of I followed the real estate. I followed the money. And there was a lot of money. You could have stayed in California, don't get me wrong, but there were some huge opportunities in Texas, and I followed those. And, and I've still gone back. I've still have, properties in California. I'm still looking at again. Yeah, New York. Yeah, I love New York, to be honest. I love New York. I go to the plays when I'm there, and I've always thought, maybe I'll get a flat in a brownstone there or something. And I've got actually, because I have a company that I own that makes movie-making equipment. And so New York is a big customer of that company, right. And bigger than California.
Sure.
Pretty much goes through New York to Honest, and then it goes to California. But so yeah. I mean, there's cool things everywhere, and there's beautiful places in Texas, and there's beautiful places in Idaho and everything else. Okay, so it says, Tom, what do you think about the burned down property for sale in Northern California? I don't know if there's anything cheap there. I know that they had a ton of grapes. That smoke destroys grapes. If the smoke blows through the fields long enough, it ruins the grapes. They can't render a decent wine out of it. So they've, a lot of really, really good winemakers have had to trash their grapes. And then the fire before, and I was in Napa the week before the fire that we had before this one, about a year ago. And that was devastating because what it did is it burned down most of the workers. A lot of the workers, their homes burned down, and the wine was spared. This time the wine's not spared, I mean, so wow. In some ways, I don't even know. I don't know the full extent of it, but it was horrible last time for the people that worked for the wineries. The wineries kind of skated on most of it.
I'll jump in real quick, Tom, while you got this picture up. We sat right there in that backyard with the previous owners when they were kind of giving us a walkthrough of the property. And we agreed on a price, and they said, okay, well, I guess we'll just be in touch then. Or I said, nope, I got a purchase agreement with me right now.
Oh, you did?
And she goes, oh, so this is all you have to do? And I said, yep, yeah. We're just going to fill it out right here, and we're both going to sign it, and then I'll take it over to the title company, and we'll get this thing rolling. And, the couple, they were great with it, and they were like, wow, and here's the deal is if I wouldn't have read your book, if I wouldn't have watched your YouTube channel, I wouldn't have known how to do that.
Right.
And guess what? I did the same thing with the flip house I'm working on. Yep. We went in this lady's house, took a quick look around. We knew the value of the house. We said, yep, this is a deal. And I only knew it was a deal, again, because of your book, because of the mentorship.
Sure.
Filled out the purchase agreement. And, I mean, we're going to be done with this house in a week and a half. We're going to put it on the market.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, this stuff, it's really cool because so many people now have learned to take the mentorship. Chris was actually the last person to sign up, and he happened to be in the same town as me, and that's why he's working for me now. But you know, like he's just telling me, yeah, that's how it goes. I know that's how it goes, but he just learned that that's how it can go.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have been so confident if I didn't know the way. You show the way in your book and through the mentorship. Even today, I had to go pick up a cord of wood for the Airbnb, and I had my trailer pull up, and the address they gave me was in the back of a neighborhood. And I was like,
bird dogging.
I was like, well, what is he? I said, where's he keeping all this wood if he's in the back of a neighborhood? Well, it turns out this guy owns 100-something acres on the backside of a neighborhood in a very dense populated area.
Wow.
And we just started talking. He's like, so what are you doing with all this wood? And I said, well, I manage an Airbnb. I'm in real estate a little bit, because I can say that. I'm in real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, we're thinking about selling this place.
Okay, we got to talk.
And I said, immediately my mind went to, okay, I'm going to get this thing under contract. I'm going to flip it to Tom. I'm going to make some money. Yeah. Right. So, but I wouldn't know all that unless I was in the mentorship, and not just hearing from you, but also hearing from all the other classmates and what they're doing and all their successes. And so all that to say, I just want to say thank you for being a great teacher, but also I want to say to anyone else that's listening, it's worth every penny. Just buy the book. If anything else, just buy the book.
Yeah.
I would say that's all you need, but when you join the mentorship, you do get live Q&A. You get the participation of the class. You get the videos. So I'll quit rambling. But
no, it's good ramble actually. So if you're just watching this channel, I've had a mentorship, had the book, had done 2 mentorship classes. A lot of people. And what's really gratifying for me is that I realized, okay, good. It proved it out. I mean, I already knew. I already had testimonials from people that just watch this channel. And you can just watch this channel, and you can get everything you get out of the mentorship. Maybe not everything, but you get in the book. You get a condensed version, okay, of the book, okay. And in the mentorship, you're going to get a workbook guide, okay. It's kind of terrible in the lighting here, but I send you out this organizer, okay? And it's exactly how I've been organizing and buying property my whole life now, my whole adult life. And I started when I was 19. And I'm just blessed that I learned what I learned at 19. Just opportunity came up. Wow, that easy. Didn't know that. And then, of course, I've learned a hell of a lot more since then. But that's what I share. And so the things that Chris is doing, it's just cool. It's just really cool. And then if you look, we got video testimonials now from Liam and Ron, and Rue is going to be in there. And another gentleman sent me a picture of a check where he just made $25,000, and he said, man, I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't learned what I learned from you. And he just learned it from the book and watching the channel. So, I tell everybody, you got to buy the book first. And if you want to take it a step further, then do it. And I know it's worth it. I know it's worth it, 100-fold. I know it is. Just because the money's made that quick. The course right now, you can get the mentorship's $5.99. That's what it is right now. And it's already proved itself. I've already got testimony. I probably got more testimonials than most people have courses right now that have been selling them for 10 years. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm really proud of everybody that is in the classes, and because you're making me look good when you make money, and I know you're feeling good because I know that feeling, and it's a cool thing. And like I say, Chris here is just, he's right next to me. But again, he didn't have to be. He could be like, Liam in New Jersey and Ron in, I can't remember where Ron is, Alabama or somewhere. Yeah. But, and other people too. So,
but that was, is the coolest thing though, Tom, like you say all the time, there's always going to be another deal. It was so crazy just being in that neighborhood today. And I was just reminded, it's common sense, but I was reminded, if there's real estate around you, there's got to be deals around you.
Yep.
And real estate's everywhere. So but you have to, as you teach in your class, you got to know the value. You got to study your area. You got to target an area. So I don't know, fun stuff. I'm just having a blast.
You got to do the work, but you're going to get a passion for it. And like I say, as soon as you make a deal, like Chris has done, all of a sudden it's like, man, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
And then, believe me, it's like Christmas every time. Every time I make a deal, it's still the same thing. I feel like I'm waiting for Santa and, go get under the tree in the morning. When I'm waiting for a contract to come in, I'm waiting for one right now. I'm waiting for a signed contract to come in now. And it's like, oh my gosh, let's see, and then the gift is if it's an acceptable offer,
Right.
or if they accept my offer, depending on what it is. So JC asked about, if it offsets living in one state to another, depending if the state taxes are super high, like they are in California, and as opposed to Texas and some others that there's zero. It just depends. In Texas they kill you on property taxes, and in California it's very forgiving and low, and they don't adjust year to year like they do in other states. So it just depends on how much money you got, JC. If you have a ton of real estate, then you're getting taxed, a higher percentage on your gross value holdings. That can be more severe than if you paid income tax on your income and were forgiven, and you got the other part forgiven. So it just depends. There is a point when it switches. I couldn't tell you the magic number, but but I look at that stuff too. And believe me, the other thing is, like, if I buy a property in California, like a beach house, I'm probably never going to rent it out because I don't want to have to file a damn tax return in California, which is what you got to do. And I just, I already got almost 20 tax returns already, but at least they're in one state.
Yeah.
Let's see, Nico, what does high taxes mean in Texas? On Long Island, a ranch or split level has averaged. Yeah, you got to do it by percentage, Nico. It depends. Things range from 2.5 to 3.2 in Texas, and I think New Jersey is similar actually. But I couldn't tell you. I get it just, a lot of people will go from California to Texas, and they laugh when they get their tax bill because they think it's a mistake. and
they also buy two houses when they move here.
Well, that's how they get rid of the other one quickly, though. It's your money goes further in other states in some ways, but you can make money anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I love California. I love the weather. I made tons of money in California, and it's, you can make money anywhere. It doesn't matter. You want to live where you want to live. To be honest, some of the problems that are in California are now coming to Texas. They say don't Californicate, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
And it's true, because it reminds me of, when I lived in Lancaster, California, a lot of the people moved from L.A. to California to get their kids away from the gangs. Well, guess what? Their kids were already in the gangs. They brought the gangs to the city. And it's kind of similar in parts of Texas, because people leave California for the issues that are going on there, and guess what? They come over here and then they vote the same way they did in California that brought the problems there, and now they bring them to Texas. So it's just stupidity, but it's there.
Elite Clinical Research just bought the book, Tom. Is it true that you don't believe in buy and hold? I saw that on one of your Amazon reviews.
Yeah, that's somebody that reviewed me said that, but I mean, obviously that's not true. I keep about anywhere from 110 to 130,000 square feet of rentals, always. And I would say 100 of that is super stable that I keep, and and then maybe actually more. I mean, I intend to get that up to, maybe, I don't know, who knows? Just depends. Maybe take it up 200,000 or 300,000 square feet at some point. But right now I'm hanging on to cash and I'm getting rid of properties. And but I mean, I'll always have. I mean, I've got about 120,000 square feet right now, I think, roughly, maybe a little more, of commercial, office, industrial properties, and those I'm hanging on to because I mean, I keep them full. They're rented and they pay well. Houses are, most of the houses that I have, it's time for them to sell. And so I've been painting and dolling them up a little bit and getting rid of those. But yeah, listen, I urge you to take my class. I mean, I can say it with total confidence. I know it's a good deal. I know it's a great deal. because I've lived the whole life. It's 40 years of my life. It's all in that book. You can get the book for $20. You have to buy the book before you can take the course. So get the book. And if that turns you on, if you feel like you got a passion for it, then you're probably the right candidate for it. Okay. And, there's a form that you fill out on my thing to, where it's just kind of, people sign up for the class anyways. But if I think anybody has, I don't know, if I don't think they're going to do well, I let them know and just say, don't join. Just read the book. Do something with the book first. But if you have the potential, certainly I make you aware of it and say, do it.
I mean, it's not I would say it's not a get rich quick scheme, because it's not.
It's not a scheme.
There's there's work involved. You have to do the work that it takes.
Oh yeah.
But you can get rich quick doing it.
Oh yeah. No, I shared here a few weeks ago on the property that was poorly listed that I just missed by that much. There's $500,000 I would have made. I would have just flipped that thing and made $500,000. But it's, but that's what happens, and that's okay. And I have flipped properties and made over 300, 400,000. I made a couple $1 million on this 50 acres. That stuff is there. But I remember so well just making $5,000, flipping a lot. It was fantastic. Or just assigning, having a good deal that was worth, $50,000, $70,000, but not having the money to buy it myself. And I rolled that over to John Brooks, my old boss, and he gave me $20,000. And so that was an easy $20,000, and I loved it. And I know it. It's thrilling to me and gratifying, to be quite honest. Because look, I'm old now. I'm getting old, and when you get older, it's like why all these old rich guys write books. Jack Welch and people that ran these. You just get your standards of living were met. Mine were met 30 years ago. I probably don't live any better today than then. I probably drink better wine, but that's about it. 'Cause I didn't drink any wine back then. But the difference is you start to, well, you know what? I want to share this stuff. I want my kids to know how, number one. I want my kids to know what I do. And so I put it in a book, and I put it in video, and now I've got, hundreds of videos that people can watch for free, and my kids too, right? But not only that, now I get to help other people do the same thing. I used to hide all this stuff. I have to hoard the information that's in my book and that I share, especially in the classes. I used to hoard all that information. I don't share it. I never shared it. In stuff in the Zoom class, Zoom is obviously, there's more stuff in the mentorship, but because I know how the power of it, I know how valuable it is, but I couldn't share it with people around me. This is before the internet, right? I couldn't share it. Anybody I share it with in the room is a potential competitor. They're going to take a deal away from me. Well, now I share it to millions of people. If 1 million people watch, and guess what? Are the people that buy the books. They're making money in every city all over the damn country, all over the world now. And it's very cool. And it doesn't bother me a bit. I'm making money on the book now. And I should make a few $1 million on this before I die. I should. Maybe 10 million. I don't know. But I should. I deserve it. And it's great information. And it's a great bargain for anybody that buys the book or takes the mentorship. So I just, anyways, it's not snake oil, folks. And it's all stuff I've done. It's real deals. But let's see what else we got here. Chris says he loves the book. Loved the book. Very to the point. There wasn't a bunch of stupid filler. Thank you. I don't hope there's not any, other than I guess I let off in the beginning. It's a little story, but yeah. And you can see if you get in the chat here, there's comments, but you can look at the chat. If you're watching this video, after this thing's done in live, there's a chat you can watch, and you'll see other people's comments regarding the book and such things. Yeah, Amazon is killing companies. A lot of companies, this was the final, this pandemic stuff. Well, that was the final straw. It wiped them out. But you know what? No, look, all my retail is full. There was some rough stuff. People had it rough in a couple different industries within retail, and I suffered with them. But everybody's pretty much on track now. I'm like 97% occupied. I got very little space. I got I say one hole to fill, but I got 3 spaces that are contiguous that were taken by one tenant, and I can rent that in 3 rentals, or I can rent it in 1.
Yeah.
So not a lot. Hey, Keith, I was thinking about you today because I was over at my barbershop.
Yeah, what's up, Keith?
Yeah. I was at my barbershop. Keith is here. He's actually was in the mentorship too, the first one. And anyways,
Yeah, we graduated together.
Yeah, you guys graduated together. That's right. Class of 2020.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys want to do? You want to look at something? We can jump over. What do you got? You got any ideas, Chris?
If you guys got any questions, specific deals you have going on right now.
Yeah. Anybody's got a question on real estate? I'd be happy to look at it. But if you guys want to jump over and, we can just watch some TV together, whatever you want. I don't care. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I'm going to pass on that one. I don't know what it means. Listen, I real estate, I don't care ever about looking good. When you say,
I think what they mean by that is just everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I don't listen. Not everybody's always doing it, but not everybody's doing it right. And listen, if you look at the video I did last week, you got Stephan. He's got one of the most underperforming portfolios of anybody I've ever seen in real estate, to be quite honest. In fact, somebody that was in the show, I was going through numbers. He's got an average of, God, I wrote it down here the other day. I think it was like 3.5 or something. That's on his whole estate. It says his $4.2 million worth of stuff. He's getting 3%. That's nothing. I make more. God, I think about that. I make more on $1 million than he makes on 4.2. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
So I know, you know what, Graham, if you're watching, I'd be happy to help you. I do have a lot of respect for you. You're a good YouTuber, and you could teach me a lot on YouTube, I'm sure. Let's see, Falcon, you think we should be buying any real estate now? Hey, look, I'm sitting on cash right now. I think it's a great time to sell. I think it's a really good time to sell. It's a good time to buy, as long as you buy it right. You got to remember,
find a good deal.
As long as it's a good deal, it's a good deal. Listen, a lot of people that own bars and stuff, those guys are hurting. If you know a bar owner that owns other property, hit him up. He probably wants to sell one of his properties just to carry him through. There's opportunities come from problems. That's just how it works. There always is. And Keith's got something. Let's see. You mentioned watching how much Kevin made on YouTube. No, I don't think he made it selling courses, Keith. I'm sure he made some money for sure on his courses. He's got too many followers not to. But no, Kevin kills it on YouTube ads, just on YouTube ads.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people make the money.
Yeah, and maybe you know something I don't know. I mean, I watch when I see something interesting, and I do a video on it, everything that I've watched, I think. But no, he's just absolutely kills it. He made $750,000, talking about stimulus, and that's like in a month, right? I think it was in 1 month or 2 months, 3 months. No, 3 months, 100 days. I think you said.
Months.
Yeah, but I heard the other day that he made $2 million in 1 month. Or is it $1 million in 1 month? No, I think he made $1 million in 1 month.
Does it matter?
No, I know he made $1 million in 1 month. So yeah, no, the guy's just a rock star YouTuber for sure. But that was just his YouTube earnings from commercials, right? He still has money from Webull. He says, yeah, get your free Webull stocks or whatever. Insurance, he's got insurance. And then he's got, a bunch of different classes in stock and investing. He lost $2 million. That's what he lost, $2 million in Tesla, is what somebody said here the other day.
Yikes.
And I thought, it's a shame. But I mean, right now he can make it back in, after taxes, he can probably make it back in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So
a couple of questions we got coming in. Robert said, I read the book. Where do I go to learn more about managing commercial properties and understanding leases?
Just watch my channel. Just look up stuff. I mean, look at my landlord stuff. I mean, if there's something I haven't covered, just ask. But
you love commercial properties, Tom.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's primarily what I have is what people, they call them commercial. I have commercial to me is like retail, but it's not,
right.
But I have offices and I have industrial and warehouse and whatever. What I call flex. Flex is like a building that could be used as office or it could be used as light manufacturing. I like that stuff too. It rents for about half of what retail does, but it costs about half as much too, so it pencils.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, I'm working on a flip and was wondering what are the main must-do remodel renovations on a flip? Jose.
Oh, man, I would just tell you, try to do as little as possible. I think the number one thing, look, it's got to be livable. Otherwise, if it's not livable, the bank ain't going to finance it. If you expect to sell it to somebody that's going to get a loan, it better be financeable, and that means everything's got to work.
It depends what you pay for it too, and what you're wanting to get out of it.
Yeah, I don't like. Listen, I know all about remodel. I mean, I'm a general contractor. Okay, I'm a licensed general. I have a piece something and a something. I have 2 licenses in California. I can't remember. I'm a millwork. I have a certified contractor for cabinet and millwork, and a general contractor in California. Of course, I let my license lapse many years ago, but so I can do about everything there is, and I certainly can make sure people are doing the right job and doing it, effectively, because I've been around it my whole life. But I don't want to do it. It's expensive. A 2x4. Chris paid $5 for a 2x4 the other day. It's ridiculous. And so right now, materials are at a premium, and so you don't want to have to remodel. I hate remodeling. I mean, sometimes it makes sense to change out the windows, but it always makes sense to clean the windows and caulk everything and paint everything and make it look pretty, So I would just say number 1 is super clean windows, super clean interior, and paint.
If you're gonna spend the big bucks, though, spend it on the kitchen. You're gonna get your biggest return, I believe, on the kitchen and master bath. I think those are the 2 biggies, in my opinion.
Right. Well, here's the deal. I owned a cabinet shop for 9 years and 8 months. Okay, it was the first business I started. That's what led me to the real estate stuff, right? And 9 years and 8 months later, I'm a millionaire from real estate, not from cabinet making. Okay, and that's why I got rid of the cabinet shop. Didn't need it anymore. But and that's what I would tell every customer. So, you're going to get this investment you spend on your kitchen, you're going to get back. Well, it's kind of a wash, to be quite honest, but it makes it sellable. Okay. In other words, you might have a house sit on the market a long time if the kitchen looks crappy. So, you have to decide. But I can tell you right now, a little set of cabinets, by the time they're, if they're good cabinets, because they're crap cabinets you can put in, but, and it's hard for me to do that. But, so you can put in good cabinets, and then, finish them, lacquer them, and then guess what? Countertops. There's another, so you got 10 on cabinets, 5,000 minimum on countertops, and I'm just talking about a 1,700 square foot home, nothing big, maybe 2,000 square feet, and then bath cabinet and countertop. I mean, you'll spend $30,000-$40,000 in the kitchen now. I mean, it's easy to do, but because everything next to it has to be redone. Everything's got to be replaced. Everything, all the appliances, the floors, the cabinets are expensive, and I'm talking about new cabinets too, and new countertops. But I can tell you right now, if you look at the house that I sold, I forgot what I referred to it as, but I sold it for $430,000. It's probably 2 years ago that I sold it, and it's in the video on it. I painted the countertops. We just painted them. I mean, it was just to make it look clean and neat. I didn't care, I mean, I wasn't fooling anybody. It was obvious that it was paint, but I just made everything look super clean and neat. In fact, it's the one that I staged. Looked up a staged house, right? Stage housing or staging, which I do love staging. In fact, I called the stager to stage a couple of my homes, and she said she's too busy. She can't do it.
Yeah.
She's too busy.
You can do virtual staging. Do you know about that? You can actually, it actually looks really good.
What's that?
Virtual staging. It's Photoshop. They drag and drop furniture into the pictures that you take, and it looks legit.
Interesting.
And it gets a lot of people to come and look at it. And but going back to here's what I would say, Jose, is if you are going to be into flipping and you do want to do some remodels, shop around and get those contacts now so that what the going rate is, and you can find the best deals on those contractors or those subs. For example, right now we're putting in, we got a steal of a deal. We got for $10,000, we're getting granite countertops in the kitchen, both bathrooms. Mm-hmm. We're getting a brand new walk-in shower tiled floor to ceiling, and the guest bath tiled, backsplash in the kitchen.
That's all for $10,000.
For $10,000.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but again,
I haven't seen the work yet, though.
Yeah.
I get worried about somebody who's doing it all.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good. It's going in right now, and it looks good. So, all that to say, again, I know that's not a deal for everyone everywhere, but if you shop around, what I'm saying is, whenever you do close on the house, you want to know what all your options are,
right?
And be able to jump on it quick.
Right. And to what he just said, this is one of the problems is it depends on what you're buying. I mean, you can't spend 10 grand like he just did on a $30,000 house. But there's houses out there that you can buy for $30,000 in places.
Sure.
And I mean, they're not worth a kitchen remodel.
No.
So I'm just saying, you have to draw the line. You know, if you're getting $300 a foot, it's a little easier to do.
Jose, he said, how about floor? You know, we're putting in some of that vinyl click lock flooring with the rubber cushions underneath. Yeah. And it looks like real wood. And obviously,
no, that's,
people are going to know, but you can actually lay that directly on top of tile. And it looks good.
No, what Chris is talking about, I can't remember. They call it, I think it's vinyl. It's still considered vinyl. But they've improved that stuff so much over the last 4 or 5 years. Because one of the things I'm sensitive to is water damage, because I've had water damage. It smells like mold in this room right now because we had water damage. Not bad anymore, but that vinyl, the good expensive vinyl flooring, it can flood.
It's waterproof.
Yeah, it's waterproof, so it dries out. You got to get the water out from underneath it, but it's waterproof. And so I love that stuff.
There's no glue, there's no nails.
Yeah, and it floats.
It just clicks.
Yeah. And so I really liked it, but it's expensive. It is expensive. It's more than carpet. And because I got careless about 6-8 months ago, and I told the tenant, probably 2 years ago now, I think, but hard to believe time goes by so quick. But I told her, I said, you know what? I said, we'll split the floor. I said, probably, $1,800. Give me $750. I'll put in a new floor. That floor cost me $4,500. So I screwed up. Let's see. Made your dollars. Let's see. Mainly do all the. Okay, yeah. Well, and you know what? You can do. Listen, so look, I'm a handy guy. I have crews of people now that work for me, but I still sub stuff out because I want to get it over with. Time is money. I want to catch. Listen, I want to catch this wave we're having right now. Low interest. I want to get stuff sold that I want to get rid of. The stuff I want to get rid of, I want it gone within 3 months. And so I'm doubling down on a lot of properties, and there'll be videos coming out of that stuff here pretty soon. But I want to get rid of it. There's a time to sell, right? There's a time to sell. And right now, it's a great time to sell. But it's a great time to buy. It's always a good time to buy as long as you're buying it under market relative to today's prices. Like I say, it doesn't matter if things go down or up. As long as you buy it, unless they're really going down sharply, you don't want to buy on a sharp downturn. But if things are kind of floating at the bottom or just going up barely slowly, that's okay. Anytime, as long as there's a market where people can buy and there's money out there, then it's fine. You can always make money. I've made money in bad times. Hell, I think there's been as many bad years as there has been good years for sure. I would say there's been more bad years in the last 40 years than there have been good years. So, and I've made money every single year. Always, never haven't.
Yeah.
So that is, I'm just thinking out loud, but that's the truth.
Delta has asked twice now, should I meet agents to find properties?
Delta, do you have my book? Does it sound like he has the book?
I feel like Delta's been on here quite a bit.
Yeah, Delta, listen, I feel like we're giving you the book, a sentence at a time. But yeah, you need the book because you would know that already. I have a whole chapter about agents and how to work with them. I can't remember what chapter it is, but it's in here.
It's in there.
Yeah, Chris probably knows better than I do. Anyways.
The answer is no and yes.
Yeah, the answer is get the book. Get the book. It's in here. Promise.
Oh, you don't have the book?
Oh, yeah, no surprise. Okay.
Come on. Get the book. Get the book.
Get the book. Jeez, $10. Come on.
We don't talk about vinyl flooring in there, but
yeah, take the class. No, you can't take the class, Keith, until he reads the book. You know that. Nobody gets away without reading the book. But you can get the Audible book. Listen, if you're busy and a multitasker or lazy like me, then just you can listen to the book.
I'm going back up, Tom. There was a question up here. Have you ever overpaid for a property and it turned out to be a good deal?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Listen, the only time I ever overpaid for a property, it's not that I overpaid for it. It was a good deal the day I bought it, but my mistake was speculating and holding on to it till the values went down, and then it became a bad deal, and I lost $75,000 on that. Me and a buddy bought a property, $320,000 for 80 acres. It's $4,000 an acre. And we, each put in 50, put 50 down each. And unbeknownst to me, he threw another 50 down because we split the payment. And so he threw another $50,000 and paid down the principal. But he didn't tell me. And then I'm told him about 2 months later. I go, man, look at. I go, you know what? Everything's gone to hell here. The property's not worth what we owe on it. I said, let's give it back. And which you can do that, by the way. You can deed a property back to the owner when they're carrying a note. In fact, you can encourage people to deed the property back to you that don't pay you. It's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure, okay? And it's a good way. It saves their credit, saves your credit. If you can, some people have actually deeded their property to a bank. They owe the bank money, and they deed it to the bank. Well, the bank didn't sell you the property. They just loaned you the money. So the bank said, you can't do that. And so they deed it back to you. They're going to foreclose on you. They don't want you to deed it to them. They are not going to ever let that happen. But when you own or finance, it's easy. It just makes sense because why go through the foreclosure process, spend all the money? And I've had talks with people. In fact, I had what was it? It was actually the property. You'll see 70 acres. I made over $300,000 on it. I think I made like 300 and maybe 400, maybe 300. Just say 350,000 or something like that. It was probably a little more than that. I bought it for 140 and I sold it for 520. So that's 380. But there was a 6% commission, so there was 30,000 taken out of that. Yeah, that's right. So what I remember is I put $34,000 down. 3 months later, I had $90,000 in my pocket, and I had somebody owed me $300,000, and I was getting $2,450 a month. Well, that came in steadily for 2 years, but then this guy started having problems. He was not making people were stopped paying him. He had tons of notes. His name was Jamsheet. I won't say his last name. His name was Jamsheet. He'd made tons of money, and I know he still does well because I looked him up, and he's got a semi mansion in Los Angeles on the side of a hill. I mean, it's probably a $15 million home. So he survived, but
so he was in real estate too.
He was just flipping and like crazy. He had connections in Iran, and he was just selling stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways. And there's an interesting story I'll tell you guys about on that too. But the bottom line is, he was not making his payments. I said, hey, what do you want to do? And he says, and I said, look, just deed it back to me, and I'll take it back. And he says, well, I might have it sold. I said, well, if you sell it, great. And so he deeded the property back to me. Well, then about 3 weeks later, he says, hey, Tom, I got a buyer for that property. And so remember, he owed me $300,000 roughly. Yeah, I think he owed me $295,000, and he was paying interest-only payments that were $2,450 a month. And so now I got the property back, and he says, "Hey, I got a guy that'll pay $240,000 cash for the property." And so he says, "How about give me $20,000, and I'll connect you?" And I said, "Okay." And so we sold the property. I sold the property to his buyer. And so, even though, like I said, when I foreclosed on him, there was $300,000 there. But I sold it for less than he owed on it. I resold it for less than, the original note was on it. But I'd already made, cash on top of it plus all the interest. But in the end, I got another $220,000 back. I basically got the property back, resold it for $240,000, gave him $20,000, made $220,000. So, anyways, that stuff can happen, and it's, believe me, I've carried so many notes that I remember as fast as I was selling notes, people started defaulting on the notes that they owed me. So it'd be like, oh gosh, I remember having about $10,000 a month coming in, and then all of a sudden it was $9,000, and so then I got rid of a couple of properties that I was paying on, so it was like 9 and 9, and then all of a sudden only $8,000 a month was coming in. So I got rid of some more property, and then I was paying $8,000, and it all went down to zero eventually. But that stuff happens. So that's why you wonder why I don't speculate. It's those lessons that I've learned. I don't speculate because you can be a little too confident and think that things always go up. They don't always go up. They go down, and they can really, really hurt. And all this stuff, when I talked about those notes, going away, and I deeded property back. People would say, Tom, we can't make the payment. I go, you know what? You've been paying on all these years, and I just deeded it to them. I just let them have it. Because I didn't want the property back, because I knew the state of the economy wasn't that good. It was worth it to me just to give it back to them. I didn't want to assume the first. They were paying to me on a second. I just said, you know what? I'm going to forget it. And I just write it off, and I gave them back the property. There's a lot of people I gave them property. And others I said, hey, this is the other thing, leapfrogging, right? I told you guys about leapfrogging when you buy something. Same thing on a note. I say, you know what? You owe me $10,000. And I know you're having trouble paying. Why don't you just give me $5,000? You'll pay this note off for $5,000. And then they go to mom or dad or grandma or who knows who and say, hey, you know what? I'm having trouble making the payments, but they'll cut the mortgage. They'll cut the whole thing in half, the mortgage in half. And so that's what I would do is I would, and I'd get $5,000. And now, or I'd say, just take it. You can have it. I don't want it back. So you just do what you can. And you get a feel for what people can do, and you work with it. Let's see. Let's get down to the bottom here. Oh, hey, Liam. Glad you're here. Jose, how long did you hold on to it before you lose? Yeah. You know what? It didn't take that long. It didn't take probably a year, maybe 2 years. I'm terrible with the time, but it wasn't more than 2 years. But it could have been as little as one. It was a long time
Have you
ago.
ever had people stop paying, Tom, and you can't get in touch with them, and then do you get a lawyer involved, or how does that work?
No. I've threatened foreclosure, and but when somebody, I can tell you, let's just say I had 30 properties, people started having trouble, and I just go, what's up? What's going on? And I'd say, well, you owe me $8,000, or you owe me $6,000, or you owe me $5,000 or $2,000. I don't know. If they owe me $2,000 or $3,000, I just say, how about give me $100 or give me nothing? And I would just, depending on how bad they were hurting, I just let them have it. I just say, have it. Or I'd say, buy it out. Buy me cheap. If I'm holding the first, that's different. I don't want to just give it up for the first. So I'd say, look, you owe me 10, just give me 5 and you can have it. And because I wanted cash, that's leapfrogging, okay? This is leapfrogging, another form of leapfrogging. I'm not going through the motions of taking the property back and having to resell it. I'm just saying, you know what? I'll just sell it to you for cheaper than I sold it to you the first time. I'll discount it so you keep it.
Right.
So that's leapfrogging. That's a real important chapter, folks. And you got to read that chapter a few times to really understand it. And you'll sense it, and you'll know, you'll identify the opportunities all the time when you run into them. See, Keith, a lot of people where I'm at are selling their homes, but they are recently purchased homes. Oh, that's not a good sign unless, I don't know. You know what? I can't. A buddy of mine just sold a house in California for $486,000. And this thing's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like a little oasis out in the desert, but and what he did is he bought a place for $900,000 in Idaho near Coeur d'Alene. And it's a beautiful where he's going.
Well, and like in our area, I know some people, I have some friends, like they bought their house, maybe 3 years ago, and they've already sold it for a profit because they want to want another house.
No, listen, a lot of my homes that I held for 10 years, they doubled in the last 2.
Right.
Yeah. Or went up at least 35, 40%.
So depending what he means by recently purchased, there's some areas that are kicking butt.
Yeah, when you say recently purchased, Keith, what do you mean? How long ago? Just a couple years? Or a few months? It's funny. Yeah, I can't believe it. And yeah, I know, it's crazy. And Keith, I know you're near, God, what is it? It's the roughest. Compton. I know you're near Compton, right? Or are you in Compton?
5 years. He said 5 years.
Oh, 5 years.
Recently
okay.
purchased 5
Yeah, recent to me is 6 months.
Yeah.
But 5 years, no, listen, things can double in 5 years easily. I've already, I've seen that happen many times. But you know what, that's what's in, and you're talking about, Keith, that are buying it at full retail and are doubling their money. And we went through some of that in 2004. For a while there, 2002, when the dot-com started going up, people thought, oh, everything's, getting screwed up. And the interest rate went way down, and it really saved everything, to be honest. But values just kept going crazy.
Tom, have you ever bought any hunting land and sold timber?
No, I have not done that. I have not.
Have you done anything with like mineral rights or anything like that? Big swaths of land?
No, not really. The only thing, I mean, I should have got an ag exemption in hindsight on a property that the day I bought this 50 acres, I mean, I could have made $500,000, no problem, maybe even more. But instead I held it and I made $2.5 million over a longer period of time. During that time, and this probably had a little creek through it, and my boys caught their first fish in that creek too, actually. But what I did is I rented the land to a former. They lay forms for concrete. It wasn't really a concrete. They didn't finish concrete, but they put the forms in for the guys that are pouring. And Liam, I have never listened to Joe Crump. I've seen him, and I've heard his voice barely, but I haven't watched one of his videos. I don't know. I don't know what to think. It seems like he's been around a long time. I don't know. I just don't know. Well, maybe we'll take a look at him. What do you think if you've looked at him? He looks like he's probably a little younger than me or right around my age. He may have been around, I like Jeb Fuller. Jeb Fuller. He's one of my biggest fans. He reviews my book. And,
Jeb.
And he is a smart guy. He's been around.
Tom, you want to tell them again, just real quick, about what they get in the mentorship and kind of the backdoor, access to the videos and all of that.
Sure. And actually, Liam, if you're just watching, Liam, who I'm chatting with right now, it's a good reminder. Liam actually hit it out of the ballpark, right out of his. I mean, he was ready to quit his second week. He really was, and he was just flying out. Right. And I remember Liam comes, Tom, I got it. I look, you can give the rest of my mentorship to somebody else. He's very gracious of you too, but but he stuck around and he still went through the classes. But at the end, and then he called me when he needed help, and I helped him how I could, But and that's the other thing. So just so you guys know, so this is how it works. You have to have the book. Okay, there's my book. Get my book. You can get it for like $15 on Audible, $20 paperback, or $10 Kindle. If you get the Kindle, you can link directly to a lot of videos that are relevant to those chapters. So from the Kindle point of view, that's kind of handy for that. If you can read small stuff, that's fine. If you like what you see, then maybe take the mentorship. It's $5.99. Nearly 100 people have taken it now. And
it's on FlipAnythingUSA.com.
Yeah, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. And Chris here took it, and you can hear his stories. He's, none of this. Anyways, and Liam, who's in here, he's kicking ass. I mean, by his tabulation and Ron's, Ron's well over 200,000, and I got a new testimonial coming too. That's going to be another guy that's made about $200,000.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's good accountability.
It is. It's good accountability. And so, like I say, I got a workbook. It doesn't look good with the green screen, but I send you a little workbook as well. But the best thing is that
that's super helpful.
Yeah, the whole class is taught by me. I don't hand you off to some salesman, okay? The whole class, all the Q&A, everything is done with me. We had 2.5, 3, 4-hour Q&As after a class before. And so there's 4 classes, and then there's a ton of Q&A. Well, the gold is in the Q&A as much as it is in any part, right? I mean, you tell me, that's what everybody says. Totally. And I know, too, because it brings up, and we go through scenarios that I'd forgotten about. I mean, it was like a huge reminder coming from the past, all the things that we talked about. But the other thing is when you have a deal, guess what? You've got my phone number. I got 2 cell phones, okay? Everybody's got the numbers to my 2 cell phones. If you don't get me on one, get me on the other. You text me. I'm responsive. I want to help you nail that deal and get it. And, I might even, I'm not going to make any false promises. I almost had Chris almost assigned me a deal. I was looking at it. And
we were close.
And we were very close. We were very close. And on this 100 acres, we might be close.
Yeah.
But so I can just tell you, look, obviously I stand to gain something. Yes. On the book, forget it. The book is peanuts. Buy the book. Number one, buy the book. It's cheap. I'm not making any real money on it anyways. But that led to the mentorship because I've been giving my time away for free, but I'm getting kind of, I get tired of the old, and for you, Delta, that's why I say get the damn book because I don't like answering stupid questions. Not that they're not stupid questions. Sorry.
Wait, I think he might be a young guy. Maybe,
sorry.
He said,
airsoft.
Well,
sorry.
he said, how can I get your book if I don't have a bank card?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, yeah.
Maybe we could
hit up mom. I don't know.
Yeah,
hit your dad up. I don't know.
Figure it out.
Mom.
Yeah, get the book.
It's $10. Okay, you probably.
Hey,
know.
but
how do you buy
Delta,
anything?
I will say, Delta, if that's true, if we're guessing your age right, I mean, if you
How
start
old are
this
you?
stuff
Just tell
now,
us.
if you're starting that stuff now, oof, it's awesome.
Oh no way! This is funny. Liam says Joe Crump had land in Lancaster in the late '80s. Well, me too.
Oh,
That's
wow.
funny. That's funny. Well, now I got to look at him just out of curiosity. Hell, let's go look at him right now. How long we been on?
Over an hour.
Oh golly, we got to go because I got to fly out of here tomorrow. But let's see. We can take a quick peek, I guess. I don't know.
William says I'll pay for the book.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Generous guy.
That's the thing. Listen, if you look, the only books that I have, just so you know, I'm not lying. I don't know if you can read that. It says not for resale. Okay, right across the middle of it, right over where it says it can make $1 million.
Tom, you need to go buy the book.
I know. The problem is all my books are the ones that they send me that I'm not allowed to sell. They print these. They print these as fast as they get ordered. They just print them. They got an amazing printer. And actually, a friend of mine actually works for the company that made that printer. There's only 2 in the world. Yeah.
Oh man.
Cool.
So Tom, you're going to be out for a little while, traveling and whatnot. Just want to let the viewers know.
Yeah. So look, I said earlier, if you're coming in late, I got a mother with dementia, and I'm her guardian. And you've seen her. I've had her on. You've seen her with me on at least one deal when I was walking a property. My mom used to own property. She made some money in real estate too, and but she has dementia and she cannot function, take care of herself anymore. And she's still good company. We still have sarcasm, but there's some issues. And, I'll probably have her on here sometime again like I did before. She's actually super smart and articulate. She just has a 5-second memory. She can't remember anything. I mean, maybe 5-minute memory sometimes. She just can't remember. So if I introduced you to her, a half hour later, she'd be comfortable that you're in the room, but she wouldn't remember your name. And next day, she might not remember you at all. It takes a while. It's a terrible disease, it really is. And that's the other thing. Listen, my dad died of Alzheimer's. His mother died of Alzheimer's. My mom has dementia. Hers is vascular induced. She didn't take care of her blood pressure. So that's her own doing, okay? So I may end up getting Alzheimer's, okay? If I follow my dad's track, I could start having Alzheimer's myself in 15 years, or even earlier. It can happen. So you guys need to get what's in here while it's still available, okay? Because seriously, you take my course because while I can help you and answer questions, I'm happy to do it. Time is becoming precious to me, but I do enjoy it. And anyways, so that's all. Just throw that in there. Limited time offer before I get Alzheimer's.
Oh, jeez. Well, probably that's not the case.
Yeah. You know what? If I can figure out how to give I'll buy him the book. Liam, I don't know. How old are you, Delta, anyways?
16.
Oh, okay. Where are you at? Where are you located? You know what? I'll give you one of these, okay? I'm going to give you one of these. I can. It says not for resale, and I'm not selling it, so I'll give it to you. So you Delta, just Tom at FlipAnythingUSA. Send me your address, okay? And I'll mail it to you. Don't put it on here. Do not put it on here, okay?
Yeah. Just email Tom.
Here, I'll just write it in here. So, yeah, Tom at FlipAnythingUSA.
Oh, he's over in Houston.
Okay, no problem. So email me your address, and I will see if I can't get it UPS to you tomorrow, and you'll get it the next day.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Hey, he might be your youngest viewer. He's with us a lot. So.
Well, we actually have a young guy in Puerto Rico. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But listen, this is great. I mean, get into it now. You know, I mean, shoot, you guys can blow me away on wealth quickly.
So you're going to be gone this week, and I'm kind of thankful because I'm still working on that flip house, and I got to get this other Airbnb up and running, so you can go stay in it, right? So I got that to take care of. But, that's good.
Yeah, Chris is busy. Yeah, Chris is like, I ain't gonna be able to make it. I'm thinking, God, I was hoping you could just go in, fill in for me completely. But no, and that's been rough because I've been traveling. The other thing is, again, I got my boys that are 17. Liam's got a son. I got 2 boys that are 17, and so I'm sensitive to becoming an empty nester here pretty soon. So I took my son last week or a week before maybe, to Colorado, and I have to take, or not have to, but when I go to California, I'm taking my other son. They're twins. I'm taking the other one. We're going to go mountain biking in, I think, Topanga Canyon and some areas. We're going to do some bicycling. Yeah, he loves the mountain bikes. We're going to go check it out, have some fun for a couple days, and then zip over, grab Mom, and the madness begins.
There you go. Maybe we'll end with this question. Can you flip meth houses?
A meth house. Yeah.
My state puts them on a list, so people don't always like to buy.
Yeah. Jeez. There's nothing you can't make money on, guys. Listen, I know I've been in Compton when Compton was this, I mean, it may be scarier now, I don't know, but Compton was a scary place. And I went down there and I didn't buy anything because I decided that is not my hood. Okay. Yeah. But somebody else bought a house that I wouldn't have paid $10,000, and she paid $75,000 for it. And supposedly she got a great deal. But, if you're comfortable with, crack and needles and all this other stuff. And believe me, when I walked through the house, I walked through with a handgun. Okay, seriously. We started walking in. I was like, better grab the gun. And then we walked through, and it was scary.
Kills primer. The white primer that you buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. That stuff it'll cover up a lot on the walls.
Oh yeah. Kills is wonderful too. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I don't know what meth smells like, but I'm guessing it's
probably not pleasant.
Yeah, that's funny, Keith.
All right, guys.
Yeah, but yep. So look, anyways, that's it. I'm heading out tomorrow. Maybe I'll do something live from California if I see something cool looking. I'll share it. I shared something from the lake the other day. That's on Instagram. Hey, get on Instagram. If you don't have my Instagram, get on Instagram, and I'll try to share some tidbits on there. Like I say, really, I just kind of pre-announce stuff that I do here or there. But once in a while, I'll do something from the lake if you're interested in the lake stuff. How do I email him?
Get your mom or dad to help.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Just write down his email. Delta, write down his email address, tom@FlipAnythingUSA.com, and then have your mom or dad or cousin.
Yeah. And you know what? Have your dad write me or your mom. Yeah. I don't want to be sending gifts to little boys.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Just stay above the bar. So.
But.
So we're gonna be busy this week, and Tom. That's what I was thinking. Are you gonna be in California near where you used to make all these real estate deals?
Oh yeah.
You should do something live in front of some of your old properties.
Yeah, it's as bad as Compton now. I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, or just something quick or.
Yeah, I'll do it. You know what? I just try not to put my son through too much of that stuff anymore.
Oh yeah. Don't ruin the trip.
Yeah. So, but you know what? In a tight little area, maybe I'll zip by real quick. I'll get some video, but I've done it before. I've done it from the sky. But yeah. I mean, I can cover a lot of. It's just weird. It's the place is worse today than it was when I was flipping stuff in there. The place is a complete crap hole. It's horrible. It's a dump. Crime's higher there than Compton now. That's my understanding.
All right, guys. Well, have a great week. Hit that subscribe button.
Yep. Anyways, please subscribe. Please like. If you get a chance, go to the comments. You could even throw a comment in the comments, even because that's where people see it. Otherwise, I get all these Chinese girls start writing, I love you so much and stuff.
Check out again, like Tom said, Flip Anything USA on Instagram, because he or I will give you a heads up when we're about to go live. And I know a lot of you guys are on Instagram. Yep.
But anyways, hey, Liam, Keith, Shannon, Delta, everybody that comes in, really appreciate it. Anybody new, please sign up, subscribe to the channel. I don't care if you buy the book or not, but you should. We'll see you guys later, and I will definitely share something out from California. I got another video I've been working on, just not quite ready yet. But anyways, that's it. So have a good one. See y'all. Bye.